So today I thought we'd revisit this. It's the Miniamp version 3, and this is my attempt in creating a portable headphone amplifier which is rechargeable. Just a quick run through over the board. There's the USB micro connection, which can be used for charging. There's the TP4056 charge IC, and over there is the FS312F-G, can't remember, and a dual MOSFET. There's some circuitry over there, passive circuitry I mean, and that's for the charge and overprotection circuitry. Over there's the MT3608, which is a boost IC with a voltage divider, with a inductor, a diode, and some filtering caps. And this is where the op amp is going to be. It's the OPA2134, which hasn't arrived, so it's still unvacated. Is that unvacated or is it vacated? Well, it's empty. The passive circuitry around it is there. I was doing some testing to see how much current was flowing in and out of the battery. That's why I have this Unity UT30B multimeter, and the battery is connected through the multimeter with these crocodile leads. And I was doing some testing, and I have a bit of a problem. Charging and discharging of the battery works fine. The problem arises when I turn it on. Well, now it's not connected, so nothing will happen. But when I turn it on, which is, the switch is located over there, but it's between the charge circuitry and the boost circuitry. So if the switch is off, the boost IC is off, and when it's on, the boost IC is on. When I turn it on, with the battery connected of course, this side of the inductor gets really hot. I discovered that by accident. I leaned on it while grabbing something else and I burnt myself. So that's not a good thing. I wanted to know how hot it really gets. So I have this thermocouple and meter, and I was planning on doing some testing of the temperature of that part of the inductor, to prevent me from, when I'm poking around with this thing, to short anything out. I have some Kapton tape, which is actually marked Koptan. So I don't know if that's a spelling mistake or if Kapton is a brand and they did this because they don't want to, get in trouble with that. But I'm gonna cut off some pieces of Kapton tape and put on the K-type thermocouple, and I'll be back. So this is the setup. The battery goes through the multimeter to the board, so I can measure the current flowing through it, and the thermocouple is right over here, and that's this reading. When it's off, as it currently is, it draws, wait, I have to switch to microamp range, 5 microamps. That's just for keeping the protection circuitry running. When it's on, it draws 200 milliamps, and I did a poke around just earlier off camera, and it's actually not the inductor that's getting hot, but it's the chip. And if I very carefully, because I don't want to short anything out, put the thermocouple on the chip, it's quite difficult to get a good connection. maybe, because I can actually feel it with my finger, and the thermocouple doesn't really pick it up. Oh, there it goes. 46, 47, 50 degrees. That's what I was getting earlier. It says it's about 50 degrees, but it feels way hotter. I can't really touch it for long before I start burning my fingers. So I'm just going to turn it off. So yeah, I think there's something wrong with the design. The chip is, well, it's just doing its thing, but it can't really get rid of its heat because of the traces being too small. I thought, well, it's only running at 200 milliamps. Doesn't draw a lot of current, so how hot can it get? Apparently, very hot. So I have to redesign the board and make sure it can dissipate its heat so it's not destroying itself. But first, I'm waiting for the op amp. When it's there, I can at least do some testing whether the op amp actually works. Because if it doesn't, for some reason, if I now redesign the board or the new boards with the modified MT3608 circuitry, and then have to remodify the audio side of the circuitry, yeah, that's gonna cost me way too much. So I'm just gonna wait for the chip, and when it arrives, I'll at least get to test whether the op amp actually works. Thanks for watching, see you next time. Bye bye.